this male bee emerges. Now, the male bee, like most guys in life, is as much use as a chocolate watch. But after 2 weeks, it goes flying into what we call drone congregating areas. Bees, they will be when they're born, after 3 weeks from laying as an egg, they do all sorts of jobs. They'll do cleaning, feeding, looking after the queen, nursing. They do all sorts of jobs. And after 3 weeks, they're old enough to go foraging. They go foraging maybe 12, 14 times a day, and they'll fly out and about and go to many thousands of flowers, and they'll collect nectar, water, pollen, or propolis. And the propolis is like a bee resin. It's like a darky browny colour, and you'll see some of the gloves here are covered in propolis. It's a sticky kind of stuff, but it's absolutely wonderful because it's very hygienic in the hive, and the propolis itself has got antimicrobial, antibacterial properties. So, as Ian goes through this hive, he's looking to see there's plenty of space for the queen to lay. He's looking for any queen cells. Now, one of the ways of multiplying our species is we have children and our children have children. And I don't know about you, but grandchildren are wonderful wee creatures. You can get away with murder with them because you can feed them chocolate and ease and all the rest of it and hand them back to their parents. And their parents suffer the due rewards they did. But bees don't manage that. They have to swarm. Now, in the height of the summer, bees will swarm, and that's where the queen can lay some what we call queen eggs, and they have these queen cells where the young queens are developing. Once the first queen cell is sealed over after about 8 days, the old bee, old queen, and many of the bees will go away in a swarm. And they will set up somewhere nearby, and they put out scouts like spokes of a wheel. And eventually, thanks Ian, is that right? Now, you'll see the kind of biscuit-coloured capping over the cells. If you come a wee bit closer, honestly, you'll not get stung. You'll see the kind of biscuit capping over the cells. Now that biscuit capping is where the brood is. So in the cell, the queen lays an egg. It's 3 days as an egg. Then it's about 5 or 6 days as a larva, after the egg hatches. And after about 8 or 9 days, the bees cover the cell with like a wax covering, and it's the kind of digestive biscuit colour. And inside that cell, the wee bee will go through its metamorphosis, and very much like a caterpillar to a butterfly, then the wee bee will spin its cocoon 3 or 4 times anyway, and then after 21 days will eat its way out into the hive. Now, generally speaking, during the height of the summer, it's getting a wee bit kind of late in the season now, so there's not so much brood, and you'll see maybe easier in the observation hives at the front, where the queen has laid eggs, it's gone into the brood, and in the hive, we're going through, seeing if there's any queen cells, there's enough space for her to lay, there's not a sign of any disease, there's plenty of feed in the hive, etc. And if everything is well, we just close it up. Now, as hobby beekeepers, we can have a hive open with our beginners for maybe 30, 40 minutes at a time. If it's commercial, you're just lifting the colony, checking to see any queen cells, putting it down if there's none, and going to the next one. So it's only a matter of seconds, really, for the commercial guys. They've got a lot to make a lot. The bees have got to make a lot of honey for them to sell it. It's more a commercial venture, and you lose a wee bit of the fun of beekeeping. But as Ian's going through, is there anything you're seeing, Ian?
No,
not seeing anything special.
It's kind of frisky.
Sorry?
A bit frisky.
They're kind of frisky. That's because you're being rough with them, that's what it is. You know, the actual fact, they'll get to know, not necessarily a beekeeper, but bees have different temperaments. And you get some bees that are really placid and calm, and you could take the hive, you can go through the hive virtually without any suit on. Never do it, always put a veil on, because if you get stung near the eyes, it's really sore. But you get bees which are very, very placid and very calm. You get bees which are really crabbit and irritable. And generally speaking, they tend to make a lot of honey. But if they're crabbit and irritable, they're up and at you all the time, and they're following you after you've left the hive. So they can be a wee bit of a pain. But Ian, he was saying
That was a wasp.
these bees are a wee bit more tetchy and crabbit. Did you get stung? Oh, that's a shame. In actual fact, a sting is a wonderful thing in actual fact, because a sting, when they sting you, there's like two wee fish hooks get into your skin very, very quickly, and they put the poison in. Now, if you get stung, if it's with a bee, there'll be a wee needle and a wee round sac. And that wee round sac, if you look at it, it pulses for about 45 seconds to a minute. And it's like taking your heart out and putting it on the table, and it pulses for about 45 seconds to a minute. And what it's doing is, it's nerves that's causing this contraction, and it's pulsing because it's pushing the poison down the needle into your skin. So, if you get stung, all you have to do is break across it with a nail or a credit card if you own such a thing. Does your wife let you have a credit card? Mine doesn't it? No. So, it's a nail. So, you just break across it with a nail, and you'll break the wee needle and the sac goes away. You have a wee tiny mark in your skin and it'll dissolve, and you'll not get anywhere near as much poison as you would normally do. But the poison is very, very good for you. They'll say that you don't get arthritis if you're a beekeeper. Well, it's a lot of lies. You do get arthritis. I've suffered 5 times, but they say you're jumping about that much because it's so that you're keeping yourself fit. But it really is good for you because there's lots of beneficial properties to do with bees. Not only in the poison, but in the honey. If you get good quality honey, it's great for eating. It's great for on your skin. And they're using good quality honey on vascular clinics, stoma clinics, etc. And it really is very, very good for you. If you suffer from cold sores, try a wee drop of good quality honey on the cold sore, very, very early, and I assure you it will go away an awful lot quicker than what it would have done. How are you doing, Ian?
I'm not finding the queen.
You're not finding the queen? She's marked in red, I think. Was that Martha? And unfortunately I'm partially colourblind, but there is an international convention of colours: white, yellow, red, green and blue. And it depends what year the queen is born as to whether you mark a white, yellow, red, green or blue. If you're partially colourblind, that some of us are, it's white and yellow. But the fancy bit is red, green and blue as well. And I had to mark this in reasons. If it's earlier on in the season, it could be an indication that they're going to be swarming. And sometimes if you put a small frame in, a bigger space, they'll hang and they produce their own wax. They've got 4 pairs of glands in their abdomen, and they eat sugar or nectar if they're out for the plants, and they'll produce their own wax. It's a very, very small, clear piece of wax. It goes into the mandibles, they chew it up, and they build the comb or the cells that the queen's going to lay eggs in. Now, if I tell you that on that frame there, you don't need to have... Hi guys! Hi Gail! The boys are neighbours across the road, the lovely wee boys. I'll not say anything about their mum. If you put a colony of bees into a box without any frames, they'll build the comb down, but they can build it in a kind of weird and wonderful shapes.